name is Sarah Rae. Welcome back to my channel. It is the end of IBD Awareness Week. Well, the 7th is, and that is tomorrow. But this is the end as in the videos that we are going to do for IBD awareness. And that is on the topic of obstructions and twisted bowels that can happen with having inflammatory bowel disease. So that is the topic we are going to do today. So you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notification of when I upload, and let's get into the video. Real quick before we start talking about obstructions, down in the description box down below you will find both this year and last year's IBD awareness playlists, so you guys can check those out on your journey to learning about IBD. So this year we did what is IBD. Yes, I do have that video already on my channel, but we did a more in-depth look for IBD awareness, so definitely some good stuff in that video. The other video for IBD Awareness Week, we did ostomies, and then this is the third video for IBD Awareness Week. Last year we did a video, one video every day for IBD Awareness Week, so that was a fun thing we did last year, so you guys can check that out. Good stuff last year, so check those two playlists out. You'll find some good stuff. Now let's start talking about obstructions. So what is an obstruction? It is a blockage that keeps out fluid and liquids from passing through the small or large intestine. Now this can be partially done or a full-on blockage, and it can be by an object which is called mechanical, or it can be what's called non-mechanical, and that means a paralysis of movement of the bowel. When it comes to IBD, there's two main causes, and that is strictures and adhesions. And we're going to focus on those two. Hi, Harley Bug. Of course. So let's talk about strictures. That is a section of the intestinal tract that has become abnormally narrow, and it is definitely hard to handle. I'm gonna just leave it at that. How common is this to happen for people with IBD? It is 11% common for people with Crohn's disease and 5% common for people with ulcerative colitis. And actually, when somebody with ulcerative colitis has it, it's more likely to be cancerous. And this, when somebody gets strictures, it is caused from surgery. So when you cut a piece of bowel, it has a tendency to become a stricture. And this is because when a part of the bowel gets hurt, it makes a certain cell, so that has a special protein, and the proteins are collagen and fibroconnectin, and they repair it. And with somebody with IBD and ongoing inflammation, this process kind of happens continuously, so those cells build up and cause that narrowing to happen. So when you have surgery and you cut something that's causing harm to the part of the bowel, and that process happens, and a stricture will happen. So somebody with Crohn's disease, it is very slim to happen, but there is a chance of a stricture to happen. So now let's talk a little bit about adhesions. They're kind of like scar tissue. So a scar tissue is a band of tissue that forms after surgery, and it can form between organs. It can form between the intestine and the abdominal wall. It can form between two loops of intestines, and it really stops the organ from moving freely and stops like food from flowing and causes an obstruction. So what else can cause obstructions? There's actually a lot that can cause obstructions. There's things like tumors, there's things like hernias, cancers, twisted bowels, which is actually called volvulus. I'll just put it here. It's so hard to pronounce. A foreign object, IBD, diverticulitis, impacted stool infections. So a lot of things can actually cause an obstruction to happen. So what are some symptoms that can come from having an obstruction? Hi, Harley Bug. So there can be things like cramping or belly pain, especially around the belly button area, vomiting, nausea, bloating, a hard belly, constipation or lack of gas. She is perched up on my I don't know what this is called, a thing, and she's looking out the window. It's so cute. I'll just show you. Ain't that cute? Anyways, so constipation, lack of gas, that's if you're completely blocked. You can have diarrhea if you're partially blocked. You will have loud sounds that will come of having a blockage. Decrease in appetite or feeling full and fatigue. I know when I had obstructions, I would have fatigue and I would just lay down. If I got up, it would hurt so bad that I just couldn't get up or move down around. All I could do was lay down. So how are obstructions diagnosed? So there are physical exams, x-rays to find the blockage. There are CT scans to see if it's partially blocked or fully blocked. There are barium contrast studies which show where the blockage is and how completely blocked it is and what's causing it. They might also do an ultrasound. So a few different ways to diagnose an obstruction. And then let's talk about treatment. So how do they treat an obstruction? Well, they're going to give you medication through your IV to make you comfortable. They are also going to probably give you what I think is the worst thing ever, and that is called an NG tube. And it's a tube, it's nasal gastric tube, and it goes down your nose into your belly, and it's horrible. And just thinking about it makes me want to throw up and gag because I hate them and I've had them so many times. But they are to relieve pain and pressure in your belly, and they can actually help partial obstructions, but and they're very good, but they're difficult getting put in. You'll be NPO, which means nothing by mouth, which means you can't eat, which sucks. If you're completely blocked, you will most likely need surgery, which means you could need a ostomy for a moment, which would be only temporarily done, but that's a possibility. That don't mean you will need it, but they will just have to get rid of that blocked area or whatever is causing that blockage. They can do an enema if it's a partial blockage, which actually will undo itself. It is kind of cool. I've had that done a few times. That and the NG tube have saved me from a lot of surgeries, actually. So I know I will do anything to not have an NG tube, but I do have to say, between the enema and the NG tube, they have saved my life a lot of times from having to have surgery. So for partials, they are great. You can also sometimes rest will actually help for partials. To sometimes your bowel just needs to rest. Like mine, there are times where my bowel will twist. It actually does this a lot, and just resting it, doing nothing by mouth, and just resting, it'll undo itself. And that's actually helped a lot too. If you have a stricture that is actually less than 4 centimeters, they will do what is called a balloon dilation, where they will do a bit of like a endoscopy type procedure and go up and kind of inflate a balloon where the stricture is and open it, and sometimes that actually helps to alleviate the strictured intestine part. And for the complete obstructions, they will do stents, which just strictured, for strictures I should say, which is complete obstructions. They will do stents, which open up that narrowing and keep it open. And lastly, let's talk about twisted bowel or volvulus. Try saying that. The word's right here. Let me know if you can say that word. So it's when the bowel twists around itself. So sometimes you'll need surgery for it, or they can do a procedure where they will do kind of like a colonoscopy, where they will do a tube, a scope, and they will actually insert some air up your intestine to straighten out the intestine. But if the intestine, the blockage, if the twisted bowel is if it's low enough, if it's too high, you will need surgery, or if that don't work. So, but usually this type of blockage is seen in the colon, but it can be elsewhere. I've had my bowels twist in my small intestine before a few times because I don't have a colon to have it happen there. So I've had it happen a few times in my small intestine. So it can happen there. So that's how they fix it. And that's about it. I don't think I have anything else to say about obstructions. I mean, they are tough. So I've had 18 surgeries. I was mainly supposed to have 3. The rest of them were of obstructions, pretty much, I should say. A few of them weren't, but a lot of them were. So I'll have to make a video about that, but obstructions are difficult. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe and well. And happy IBD week, awareness week. And I hope you guys watch some of those videos in the playlist. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.